The erstwhile unadministered areas covering the present area of Nagaland, the British had formed the Naga Hills District under Assam, with its headquarters at Samaguting, present-day Chumukedima district, in 1866. Since then, the chief objective of the British administration was the protection of the lowland of Assam from the savage incursion of the Nagas. Captain Gregory was the first officer in charge of the newly formed Naga Hills District. He was succeeded in 1869 by Captain John Butler. In 1874, under Captain John Butler, several Angami Naga territories around Kohima became British-administered territory, and it became the first step to the formal annexation of the Naga Hills, with 16 Naga villages accepting British protection. The Nagas by nature were lovers of autonomy and wanted to live in freedom without outside interference. But with the advent of the British, the Nagas slowly got a sense of foreboding and uneasy feeling, since large troops of the British administration started to set foot in the Naga Hills District. On 8 January 1874, Captain John Butler and R. Brown along with their surveyor team started an expedition into the Woka area and reached Woka on 14 January 1874. In order to mark the location of their expedition, the team went up to Mount T, which is a few kilometers away from Woka village. Captain Butler had the intention to shift the British headquarters of Naga Hills District from Samaguting to Woka District, considering that Woka was a perfect location to strengthen the British administration to control the other areas in Naga Hills District. He went back to Samaguting and wrote a letter to the British higher authority on this. Without much delay, Captain John Butler along with Lieutenant Austin and Woodthorpe, accompanied by the surveyor team consisting of 43 members, 50 Assam light infantry, and 80 policemen, moved towards Woka for the second round of expedition on 12 December 1874. The expedition was also accompanied by Captain Latouche from Tesafenu village, and they reached Woka on 3 January 1875. The next day, the survey team moved towards Mount T, leaving behind some coolies in their station. The movement of large British convoys and troops in the area made the native Naga villagers of Woka uneasy. As such, they were waiting for an opportunity to show their resentment towards the British survey troops and to oust them from their native land. To their favor, an opportunity came, when a Kuki coolie of the British moved in and around the stationed area to collect some firewood. The villagers of Woka, who are called Wokai, in the Lotha dialect, were well prepared to take any course of action against the British invading their area. Taking this opportunity, Mr. Shanrumbemo and Abemo of Woka village beheaded the Kuki coolie during the ambush and hanged his head at Mhankishan, head tree, in Woka village. Taking this incident into account, Angami interpreter, Dabashi, took the news and reported it to the team, who were already headed towards Mount T. On hearing the incident, Captain Butler rushed down and called the village chief to discuss the matter. However, the villagers denied it, as their intention was to revolt back and they were ready to ambush. All the elderly people, children, and wives were told to vacate the village of Woka by shifting to some other village. The next day, the villagers sent a person who knew the Assamese language and another from Akak village for a peace talk. However, Captain Butler denied and apprised the messengers to hand over those people behind the act until the next day. Following that evening, in retaliation to the statement given by Captain Butler, the villagers took their spears, machetes, bows, arrows, and stones, and they started to throw and capture the British soldiers stationed in the area, leaving 2 of them injured. The next day, Captain John Butler took 40 of his troops and burned down the Woka village entirely on 5 January 1875. On 6 January, the villagers again sent 2 messengers to negotiate on behalf of the village. However, Captain Butler asked to hand over those people involved in the act within 3 days. In connection with this, several Lotha villages were informed to send efficient warriors to revolt against the British, and on 10 January 1875 a fierce battle broke out between the Lotha villagers and the British, killing around 10 British troops. Little is known about Mr. Shanrumbemo and Mr. Abemo, who beheaded the coolie of Captain John Butler, as in those days there was no written record and all information was passed down through oral tradition and narration from one generation to another. However, after the battle ended, on January 13 and 15, the Woka village chief took Mr. Shanrumbemo and Mr. Abemo to seek forgiveness and maintain cordial relations, and thus both of them were forgiven on moral grounds by Captain John Butler. The village leaders of Woka village during that time were Mr. Alo Murray, Rahop Motungo, and Kyalamo Kithan. Other villagers include Mr. Fandamo Kithan of Akak village, Mr. Yibansao Murray of Sanis village, Mr. Pongsini Eni of Firo village, and Mr. Ario Mazwi of Yamhan village.